It's, Miss Belivet, isn't it?
What? Oh, Roy.
Oh, right. You're the one who took last week off, aren't you? You had to, take care of your sister, I think?
Mother. My mother. She's very sick.
No, I hope this doesn't become a recurring thing. I need to know I can count on you.
I understand, sir.
What are you doing here, anyway? Are you on break?
Yes, I am.
Don't take too long.
No, I won't.
What's going on?
Oh, Andrew.
Oh, sorry. Seems I've made a habit of sneaking up on you today. Spying on Bernard again?
No, I'm looking for a screwdriver. For the vent. Linda asked Eugene to fix Bernard's window.
Ah, gotcha.
Eugene?
What? Maybe you should go have a look. You know what? I'll stand guard by the elevator and, holler if Bernard approaches.
Okay, thanks. I'll be quick. This does not look like a nice brotherly check-in. I had no idea things were this bad between Bernard and Raymond. Oh, Bernard. So close to doing something altruistic, but here you are holding it over your brother. Ew. Is this Linda's? Opposing something that could help so many people just because it's close to your hotel? This is ridiculous. So, I take it the open window was not an accident. Can't say I blame you, Eugene. Aha! Let's get you to that vent. With this blizzard, Bernard's office will be a skating rink by the end of the day. Best to avoid that.
Do you remember that loose tile from last week?
Yes?
Well, I'm afraid it hasn't been properly repaired.
What do you mean?
I mean that, it's still broken, sir. Someone put a rug on top of it, but you can still hear it crack. I'm just checking to make sure guests don't trip over it.
Is that part of your job description?
No. No, it isn't, sir.
Oh, well, then I suggest you stop worrying about Miss Belivet. What were you doing in my office?
I was looking for a screwdriver to fix a loose vent.
A loose vent? Well, that sounds like a job for Eugene, doesn't it? And why on earth would you look for a screwdriver in my office?
I thought Eugene might be there.
Well, I don't ever want to see you in my office without permission again. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mrs. Drake has asked to see you.
Again?
Just indulge her. Apologize one more time for Friday's mishap. Do whatever needs to be done. We cannot afford to lose such loyal guests.
Very well, sir. Whew. I think my heart stopped beating there for a moment.
Yeah, me too. But at least I found what I was looking for.
Perfect. Now, I should probably get to it before you-know-who comes out of his office again. Keep me posted.
Oh, I guess I'm free to disturb room 508 now. All right, let's open the vent. Meet me tonight in my room. Michael will be sleeping. We need to discuss our plan.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Andrew speaking.
It's me.
Hey, you got anything good for me?
I found another message written in secret code.
And?
It says, meet me tonight in my room. Michael will be sleeping. We need to discuss our plan.
Who's Michael? A guest's husband?
I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing of a Michael in this story.
Yeah, the cast keeps getting bigger. I'll just check the logbook. There's a Michael staying in room 507.
Mrs. Beaumont's room? But she doesn't have a husband. She's here alone with... Oh! Michael must be her son. I got him some extra blankets the other day so he could build a fort.
That's really nice of you. So, Mrs. Beaumont is linked to the cruises, huh? I have a feeling we may be approaching the climax of this story.
I guess I should go have a look at 507, but it's not on my list. There's a do not disturb sign on the door.
How about I call up there? You know, to make sure no one's home.
Good idea.
Just a sec. Well, it looks like the room is ready for your snooping, my lady.
Thank you, good sir. I'll call you back. Looks like I'm headed to room 507. Mr. Cruz, huh? Oh, Michael. Adults can be so confusing. I promise it's not you. So you were eager to set up a meeting, but didn't want anyone noticing. Did Marcella send this? get to the bottom of this and find out what links these rooms together. You almost look like Marcella. Funny how some games really stand the test of time. I used to play this with Mom all the time. Sounds like this is from your school days, but the name of the sender is smudged. Aha! Keys are Snoop's best friend. So a husband can abuse his wife and just get away with it? And people like Linda still think divorce is wrong? Ugh. I'll need another key to unlock this. Haven't I seen one just like this somewhere? Aw, that's so sweet. I didn't do much, but I'm glad it meant something to you. Those few coins in my tip jar were getting pretty lonely. That look in your eyes. What does it mean? And who is this from? Looks like someone grew tired of looking at your face, Mr. Beaumont. He's all but outright threatening you. Oh, I hope you can stay as far away from him as possible. There you are. With Marcella. God knows where she is.
Clarington Hotel reception desk, Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew.
Sophie, crazy timing. I've got something for you.
Oh, what is it?
I heard a certain Mr. Cruz and a Mr. Morgan had an argument yesterday evening.
Really? Who told you that?
Jacques did. Apparently, it got so heated he had to get involved. And it sounds like we were on the right track, because he heard a particular word thrown around quite a lot. Can you guess what it is?
Affair?
Exactly.
How bad was the fight?
I think Jacques got in the middle of it before it got too intense, but he said Mr. Cruz looked like he was about to kill Mr. Morgan. So Mrs. Cruz must be having an affair with him, right? And her husband found out?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain Mrs. Beaumont's involvement with Mrs. Cruz.
What do you mean?
I found a chest in room 507. I think it can only be opened by turning 2 keys at once. I found one of them in Mrs. Beaumont's things.
What about the second one?
Well, I remembered seeing a similar key in one of Mr. Morgan's stocking pictures, so I went back to check. Mrs. Cruz wears it as a pendant. It looks identical to Mrs. Beaumont's key.
Let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz own identical keys that open a chest with 2 locks? Okay, there's definitely something going on between them.
I think Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont might be the ones having the affair.
Really? Well, it is the 1950s after all. I guess anything's possible. Did you find any clues that might support this?
Nothing concrete. I mean, I did find a letter that suggests they may have gone to college together, but they could just as well be good friends, right?
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
I guess we'd know for sure if we could have a look at that chest, but I don't think I'll be able to open it. I've looked around room 509. I would have seen the second key if it was there. Mrs. Cruz must have left with it this morning.
Probably.
We were so close. I can't believe it all ends here.
Well, if you get me a candle and some plaster, I may be able to do something about that chest.
How?
I'll tell you later, okay? Just find those things, and I'll meet you in the basement as soon as I can.
All right. Thank you for not giving up.
I would never give up on you.
Plaster and candles. Well, half the hotel's under renovation. I should be able to find plaster somewhere around here. Great! This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, doesn't Rebecca keep some in her locker downstairs? I can probably find the rest of what I need in the basement.